It's a great day. It's very exciting. We are delighted to have you here. It's a very exciting place to be. I spent most of my career in California, where I was very happy, but the only reason I would have left California, a reason that really never became conscious to me until 2007, was to come back to Wesleyan. Wesleyan, for me, represented all the opportunity that education could provide someone. I've worked at various educational institutions, some pretty fancy, like the Getty, for example. And everywhere I've worked, I've always said to my colleagues, why can't we make this more like Wesleyan? Oh, we can't do that because we don't have as much research because we emphasize teaching. It's like, oh man, Wesleyan, they did both. You know, they said, oh great, Wesleyan again. So much to my surprise, when I was offered the job, I said, you know, I wonder if I should really move back to Middletown. And they all said, yes, you should go. You should go. You've been talking about Wesleyan for 25 years or more. You should go. And it has been so great to be back because there are things that happen at Wesleyan for our students that I get to participate in as the president and as a professor. I teach a course every semester. I get to work with students and get to know them and see their extraordinary efforts and their accomplishments. I think what Wesleyan has to offer our students and to higher education in the United States these days is a pragmatic liberal arts education. I think there's this false dichotomy, especially in the United States, between a liberal arts education and an education that might be useful. Now, a lot of people say, well, we want a broad education instead of a useful education. I think it's false. People don't learn things that don't speak to their interests. Dewey knew that, James knew that, the great American philosophers knew that. We want to engage our students' interests because they are going to live with their interests and their work after graduation. We want to engage their hearts and souls, their bodies and spirits in an enterprise of learning that will form for them habits of mind and spirit for lifelong education that will serve them well, whatever they wind up doing. We don't want to train one tiny tool from them, one appendage that becomes their tool, that they contribute to some big organization, whether it's for-profit or not-for-profit. We want to educate the whole person, because it's the whole person who's going to question his or her life over time, is going to make a contribution to his or her society over time. There are only three things that I hope that everyone gets from their college education. We trust that our students will discover what they love to do. And that's a hard thing. They're used to a lot of positive reinforcement, many of the students here. And so you have to learn to let them fail. You don't learn if you don't fall on your face. Now, our job is to make sure they get up ready to go. But our job is not to prevent them from stumbling, because you don't learn if you don't stumble. I'll give you another example from my own time at Wesleyan. I always remember I was working with a genius professor, Pulitzer Prize-winning historian, Carl Shorsky. We became great friends. I remember getting a paper back from him, and I had worked hard, and I did okay, but I always remember the phrase, he called Mr. Roth, comma, you have an awkward, comma, wooden, comma, style. Hence the shtick now. I mean, I was, oh my God. Now today, I'd probably be able to sue him in today's climate, but it was fantastic. It was fantastic to be told, you're just not doing as well as you think you are. And in Carl's case, he knew that I would be so angry about that I would do everything I could to become less wooden, which took me years. And so having that challenge to get better at what you love to do is very important. And I should say one more word about that. You find out what you love to do, you get better at it. And then the third thing is then you share it with other people. That may take the form of trying to sell it. One way you know you have a sustainable organization is if you're making a profit. If you're losing money every year, you're not sustainable. We want our students to be unafraid of the marketplace and to be unafraid of testing their intelligence and creativity against the problems of our neighborhoods, towns, states, and country. That will show that they have been equipped with a pragmatic liberal arts education, because what they have learned, whether they're studying classics or biology, COL or religion, what they have learned is something they are enthusiastic about, that they have become skillful at, and that they can bring into the world in a way that other people legitimate as valuable. If we've done that in a way that allows them to continue to learn through the rest of their lives, we have done a great job. And you will be grateful to us. When they leave Wesleyan, they will be able to shine, they will be able to thrive, and all of us will be able to feel a great deal of pride in their accomplishments. With your help and our great faculty support and the work of the staff, we'll get there. Thank you so much for being here today. We're going to have a reception out by the Huss Courtyard in just a little while. Good luck to you, and we'll have a great year this year at Wesleyan.